Hello, welcome to this update for the US and Canada and also the Caribbean. So we have a new storm in the tropics that they're in the Atlantic. We'll talk about it soon, Tropical Storm Lorenzo. But before that, let's just see what's happening with this severe weather. Because last night until like this afternoon in California, we have a 2% tornado threat around Los Angeles and other areas. Because of that strong front going through California and some cold air loft and some instability may pose a brief tornado threat. So this is already happening, and to be honest, it's almost ending because the cold front was strongest during the night until the morning hours, and it's almost noon there. So there are still some storms going on, but not as much as before. So just continue to be careful and be aware. And some moderate strong wind as possible, those storms as well. And also with the margin risk in New Mexico, some hail and some strong wind this afternoon and evening. So be careful. Those areas tomorrow does show a margin across South Dakota into Nebraska, spots of Wyoming as well, into New Mexico, Colorado for Wednesday does show some hail and some wind, no tornado threat. But there's day three, also small marginal in Oklahoma, in Kansas, into Colorado, southernmost Nebraska as well. Maybe for some wind and hail on Wednesday. So the thunderstorm social margin severe hail with possible Thursday at late afternoon central high plains. So be aware, it's mainly some hail by Thursday. So be aware and look what we have here. I didn't even notice we had this severe on Saturday. This might be interesting. So day four nothing, but day five we have a big 15% already in spots of the Mississippi Valley into the Mid-South, the Arctics and the Southern Midwest. So we haven't had big severe weather outbreaks in a while by now. So this might be an interesting day. I won't say it will be that big, but it might be a good day to watch with the next trough coming and the storms and everything. So day five, day six through eight, nothing. It's just day five we need to watch. So let's see if there's some excessive rainfall, especially in California today, especially those hills and everything. Be careful with mudslide danger and the margin on those other areas. And a slight in New Mexico as well. And there was some flooding in New Mexico, so better monitor. Day two, still a marginal, Colorado, New Mexico. And day three, four, nothing. Just day five, there are spots of Washington and the Midwest. So day one through seven does show still like the Pacific Northwest, some fronts, spots today in Southern California, slightly heavier, and does show in the Northeast more precipitation as well, spots the Midwest too, and Texas still kind of droughtish, and Florida might start to decrease a little bit. So be aware those areas, and let's see if there's anything there in the Rockies and Sierra Nevada. So this front will also bring a high chance of snow there in the Sierra Nevada and California, spots there in Nevada as well. Day two moves into the Rockies, northern Utah, and two spots of Wyoming a little bit. And day three still in Wyoming, some snow. Day four, day five into day six shows higher chances in the Cascades and Northern Rockies, and day seven as well spreading to the Rockies. So better watch this snow later on. So be aware in those areas. It's already time to check this map, the winter storm severity index there in the Sierra Nevada in California, especially there in the higher mountains and everything with the snow. Be aware. And here, let's see what will happen with this next system. So shows the strong front there now. You can clearly see like the cyclone with the cold front there in California. And then this goes and continues until tonight, more rain there, and more snow in the high terrain. So Wednesday, Thursday shows like few storms in the upper Midwest and the plains, still with snow in the backside in the Rockies. Friday starts showing some a storm or two in the plains. This is Thursday evening still, like because this is European time here, so still like Thursday night in the US. This goes on Friday afternoon, shows possibly this system some snow in Manitoba, more rain spots of central Canada. Then Saturday into Saturday afternoon already shows like these potential severe storms that 15% from Missouri into Kansas spots there in the Midwest Saturday through Sunday, especially between Saturday and Sunday as this potential line of severe storms goes further south. So Saturday it starts and there until Sunday morning likely. So better watch this next system and be aware. We'll get more information as it gets closer. So the European model snowfall map does show like next 5 days a few spots in the Rockies, Sierra Nevada to 7 inches, 8 inches, especially showing more in Idaho, Wyoming to some 17 inches, 9 inches spots in Idaho. So be careful. Utah shows into Colorado 2, 3 inches possibly. And the rest is clear for now. Just Canada will have more across British Columbia, even like some 80 centimeters, close to 90 spots in Alberta, in the Rockies, and also central Alberta, more in northern British Columbia. It shows like a lot in the mountains in southern Yukon, Alaska, northern British Columbia. In this mountain, like 134 centimeters, like 50 inches in a few of those mountains, even close to 70 inches. So please be careful. Most of central northern Alaska, more snow, and into Yukon, northwestern territories and eventually into Nunavut shows more snow, a little bit in Alberta and to eastern Saskatchewan and Manitoba, especially those areas, into central northern Quebec, a thing or two. So be careful in those areas and shows some rain spots of Canada through central Canada and through Ontario, some rain. And the snow is mostly in the mountains, but like on the immediate coast, there'll be some rain as well in Alaska, those areas. So be careful. In terms of rain, it's kind of better across Central America, but still heavy. Spots of Costa Rica, more than 100 in a few areas still. In Panama, Honduras, into Nicaragua. Guatemala shows more showers and storms. And Mexico is doing better, especially compared to those floods that happened, but it's slightly better, but still some rain on the west coast and spots in the Yucatan as well. A few thunderstorms. The Caribbean, I saw some advisories today for storms near Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, a few showers and storms, and also northeastern Caribbean should have some Jamaica, etc. So on the satellite here, there's a few storms now scared in the Caribbean Sea and like some near the Windward Islands. So be aware, but nothing that crazy. Tropical Storm Lorenzo in the Atlantic will just be a fish storm, and it probably won't become a hurricane, but it'll remain a tropical storm throughout this week, go further north and eventually east into the Atlantic. So be aware, but this won't be a threat to land. It might cause a swell or two, but it's not really that concerning. But always be aware. And then the wind is mainly out in the ocean. So what's the rest of the information for this? It's actually not looking very good right now. Some wind shear and like it's not so organized. And you just go north and curve back east and maybe curve back west, the remnants. So it might last until like Saturday, and then the remnants might do the crazy curve. So still watching, the models just keep as a tropical storm. One tries to go for hurricane down the road, but like still very uncertain. the the main forecast is for it to just weaken beyond 60 hours. It will mainly weaken, and by what it's showing right now, it might start weakening as early as tomorrow. So no big worries with this, but let's see here the rest. What might happen shows there's the GFS Tropical Storm Lorenzo. It goes and weakens and gets caught in those other fronts there in the mix. And then they're like those extra tropical cyclones, the middle of the Atlantic, and they just go north. But later, the Caribbean, the GFS does pop up a system on the 24th, the Central Caribbean, and goes into Central America and tries to pop another one after near Cuba. But you know the GFS is crazy, so let's not fall for it. But there's the European here, shows like Lorenzo goes and gets caught in those other fronts there near the northeastern Atlantic. This goes later has some more moisture near Costa Rica, Nicaragua, and those areas by the 23rd, like a strong wave, but it doesn't actually form it. It just brings a lot of heavy rain, but it doesn't develop. But it might try to. It has another curve low near the southeast on the 27th to watch, but that's like 300 hours out, so let's not put our faith on that. So just checking the Canadian model to see what else is happening. It shows like this goes. So today's the 14th. It shows like Lorenzo goes, but the Canadian tries to form another lowrider system by the 19th. I don't really trust this because no model is showing this, but the Canadian tries to do that. But still very uncertain. But Lorenzo for now is not a big threat. There's the icon just to compare. Lorenzo's like this small circulation here. This goes and like just dissipates there. It tries to form something else, the Eastern Pacific. And then later, the icon brings this strong shock wave near the Windward Islands by the 19th and might try to do something in the Caribbean. So this next wave is the key because it might try to do something later on in the Caribbean. And in the Eastern Pacific, there's this area to 50% chance near Mexico. Might be good watching this for some heavy rain near the west coast of Mexico, but no big threat for now. So be aware those areas, and we'll keep watching. Let's see the European model tropical storm probabilities. So the Atlantic does show like there's Lorenzo now, there's the other one, the Eastern Pacific, and later does pop up some 10% probabilities, the Central Caribbean. So better watch that. In tropical depression, probabilities are at 60-70%, but by the 24th, still on the 23rd, around 60%. And then when this shock wave arrives in the Caribbean, it will already be at a 40% when it gets there. So better watch this one closely, but still don't worry. It's still far, but like just better watch. There's the Google AI model to compare. It shows Lorenzo taking a wild curve, so don't mind that. And this is 200 hours out. It barely shows anything with this wave. It just has like three members in the Caribbean. Then 300 hours out, it has a few more members Central Caribbean. So just watching this, but still nothing is certain. The other Google AI barely has anything here, just like a few rogue members in the Caribbean. So still watching, but don't worry about it much. So back there in the US and Canada, there's still these cold temperatures across much of Western Canada into the Rockies, especially like -13 tonight, alright? A few other spots, northwestern Canada into Alaska. In Alaska, it's already like 9 degrees Fahrenheit, 7, already very cold. In the Rockies, already showing like some 20s Fahrenheit, even some high teens in the mountains. This goes during the day, does warm up, especially some is in the south still, but next night and morning shows in the northwest again, some 20, especially Montana, those areas in the northwest. Some 40s into 50s in the northeast, but especially in the 40s. This goes, there's still this warm area, even close to 90s, southern Texas. And during the night again, especially in the Sierra Nevada colder spots in Montana into the Rockies and up north in Kansas, like -6, -10 degrees Celsius. Nunavut, very cold spots in Alberta, most of Alberta to Saskatchewan, getting colder during the night in Ontario, some like teens, some 9 degrees Celsius, 10. In Quebec, slightly colder in a few spots, but Ontario is still fine. So this goes by like Friday morning. The cold spreads further into Manitoba, a few spots central Canada, into Quebec. There already some active temperatures. In the US, some 30s, northern New York there, and spots in Vermont too. And the Appalachians in the 30s already, so bear watch. And in the Rockies, the cold continues into this weekend. Northern Canada, those areas. So Friday shows this goes in the afternoon, still slightly warmer spots in Quebec ahead of that front. But the next night, still like very cold, much of the northwestern corner of North America there, northern Quebec and spots in the Rockies. So be aware, most of Alaska is frigid. And then Saturday, Sunday, it's still very warm in Texas by like the 20th, even some 97 degrees Fahrenheit, and Florida still warm as well. But like those other areas are already cooling down a lot. So be aware and we'll keep monitoring. There's some wind gusts as well, especially like let's see near Alaska, those extratropical cyclones from the ex-typhoon. So there's another typhoon there that they might become an extratropical cyclone too. So the Aleutian Islands there today, spots near the California in the Sierra Nevada, Southern Rockies as well. Be aware today there into Wednesday shows like spots further into Alaska, even to like 60 mile per gust or even higher. They're right on the coast by Thursday morning, still shows strong, and then does show still kind of windy near the northeastern US, just off the coast there by like Thursday, Friday. So be aware and still watching like Friday, Saturday spots across the plains in the US because of the trough, the severe weather Saturday, slightly strong gusts, and near the west coast of Canada again, Saturday, Sunday, and still watching. So be aware those areas and we'll keep watching everything. Let's just see the her for the next day or so, just to see the things there in California. So there's like the line of storms is about near Los Angeles now. Some heavy rain still happening, some snow still in the Sierra Nevada. This line continues, some rain for San Diego too later today. It does show like the snow there in Nevada, California, there in the Sierra Nevada, and some in the Rockies starting Wednesday in more spots in the Rockies, Utah as well. So be aware. And later by Thursday, a few more storms in the plains, and like as that low pressure system lifts towards Canada. So be aware, and we'll keep watching.